So how do we get addicted? Well, we're feeling a need, basically. That is, how do we get to the point where we are addicted to something? So what I mean by that, feeling a need, perhaps someone has an emotion, or they have something that they can't quite get comfortable with, something they don't understand. Maybe an emotion comes up, they don't like the way they feel, so they try something. They maybe take a drug, or maybe they have a bag of chocolate chip cookies, or a line of Coke, or some marijuana, or whatever. Alcohol is the huge self-medicator, and they feel better. The emotion goes away, the need is met. But the need's not really met. It's only met for the moment. And so eventually, the need comes up again, because the underlying problem is still there. And so, well, last time, a bag of chocolate chip cookies did the trick, so what are you going to do? Another bag of chocolate chip cookies, or another line of Coke, or another shot of heroin. Whatever it is that meets that need. So there are other things, pain relief too. If you've injured yourself and you need relief from that pain, it's a little more concrete, and it's something we tend to forgive a little more in people, which may be right, may be wrong, who knows, but if someone breaks their leg and they're taking painkillers for that, and that pain continues, they're going to keep taking those painkillers. That's a little harder to deal with. And we can't get into everything here. I think we're going to stick more with the emotional stuff than the pain killing, because that can be really hard to extract oneself from.
But one thing about the pain killing thing is that when you take pain pills, because I've had this problem, sometimes the pain gets worse because you go into withdrawal from the pain medicine. Then you get off the pain medicine, you found out you weren't really in so much pain. You were in pain from the withdrawal from the drug, and so that happens too.
That's a great point. That's a great point. That when you are taking pain medications and you start to come off them, you start to feel there are other things that the pain medications take care of. A lot of pain medications don't really deal with the pain itself. Rather, they deal more with the anxiety from the pain. That is, you feel the pain still. I had this experience when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. And they gave me, this was a long time ago, before Chinese medicine, and they gave me Percocet, which is basically prescription heroin. And I took it, and I still had the pain from my wisdom teeth, but I felt great. It didn't matter that I had the pain. And it really helped me understand this relationship between anxiety and discomfort. Because pain itself is just a feeling. It's a feeling that we say is unpleasant, but it causes us anxiety. So when we get rid of that anxiety, and then the pain doesn't bother us so much. So we start coming off our pain meds and we feel that anxiety, and we need to deal with that.
But it also gives you rebound pain. It makes you feel that the pain is worse than it actually is.
It's true. Anxiety actually increases pain levels as well. Which is why if you can get rid of the anxiety, you still feel some of the pain, but you're absolutely right. It'll make things hurt more. Emptiness. Emptiness is a need. A lot of times people identify it as boredom. You meet people who have to be busy all the time, always doing something, always filling up their time with things. And it's because they have this feeling of emptiness that they're trying to get around. They're not comfortable being in that space. I was recently down at a Buddhist monastery down in San Diego County. And I was listening to, it was a question and answer period with the Buddhist monks. And someone asked them about something about if they ever had a hard time meditating. And they said, of course. And these are people who are professional meditators, basically. And they said, of course, it's very difficult to sit and be with yourself, to sit and be with your feelings and your emotions. Not all of them are easy to deal with. And they said, of course, there are days when it's very difficult to sit and be with that. And so a lot of the healing process that comes from getting over addictions, if it is the sort of addiction where this is part of the issue, is learning how to deal with that, learning how to sit and be with oneself and get through these things. Sometimes it's a nutritional deficiency. That's why as part of our detox programs, we always include nutritional advice. Because sometimes you're not getting enough of a certain nutrient. And again, you feel that need, you have a craving, your body feels a craving and anxiety, and you don't know what it is. So you can satisfy that in the near term, again, with a myriad of things, behaviors or substances, and you feel good after you do those substances or do those behaviors. But again, you're not satisfying the underlying need. And so anxiety anxiety, as we're talking about, and by doing these different things, we're basically distracting ourselves. So why do we get addicted? Well, this is really interesting. It's kind of about brain wiring. When we're talking about why you get addicted, I mean, why do people then just go right to that addictive substance or that addictive behavior? And if you think about it, if it feels good, we want more. And that's helped us survive all through time. You know, that's why sex works. That's how we've been able to procreate. It feels good, so we want to do more of it. Fatty foods. If you look at our evolutionary history, we were a feast and famine species. Sometimes we'd have a lot of food, sometimes we'd have no food. So we like fatty food because our body can store that for energy. Exercise. The more you exercise, the better you're going to be at hunting, the better you're going to be at your heart's going to be better, you're going to be able to live longer. But our hardwiring doesn't know the difference between good things and bad things. Bad things that are bad for us, rather. So certain harmful substances and behaviors make us feel good, so our brain gets wired into wanting more of it. So as we're talking about, let's say I'm feeling anxious, and I smoke some pot and I feel better. Well, now I'm kind of hardwired into that. You know, I'm not physically addicted to it, but every time I get that anxiety, I'm going to go there. Same with alcohol. You know, every time you feel a certain way, you want to get away from it, you go right to that substance. It's in our wiring. Some people are more hardwired to it than others.